Hello, my name is Primo. I'm a musician, and Sunshine Pop is one of my favorite styles of music. And the Love Generation is one of my favorite Sunshine Pop groups. This is the story of the Love Generation and their music through my eyes and ears. My mom emigrated from Manila to Chicago in December of 1964, where her know-it-all elder sister had made a home earlier that year. By the summer of 1966, she was working at American Oil on Canal Street. Monday, the 4th of July, 1966. My mom didn't know that in her hometown, the Beatles were playing 2 shows to a total of 80,000 people. On Wednesday, she would read in the paper about what happened on Tuesday, a national embarrassment.
You treat like ordinary passenger, passenger. With an ordinary passenger, he doesn't get kicked, does he?
But let's go back to Monday morning. It seems fair to assume that my mom had that holiday off. Had she decided to watch some TV at around 11:30, she wouldn't have had very much to choose from. Only 4 stations in Chicago were broadcasting.
Robert Young and Jane Wyatt.
Channel 7.
Donahue, Billy Gray, and Lauren Chapin in Father Knows Best.
Not a sign of a cloud passing by.
Channel 9.
I want to sing, throw my heart in the ring. It's a most unusual day.
Search for tomorrow.
Channel 2. Let's see what's on Channel 5.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
She's the best gal this poor boy ever had. I laid around and played around this old town too long. Summer's come and gone, winter's coming along. I laid around and I played around this old town too long, and it seems like I gotta travel on. Wanna see my honey, wanna see her bad, wanna see her bad, oh, wanna see her bad. Wanna see my honey, wanna see her bad. She's the best gal this poor boy ever had. Ladies and gentlemen, Molly B.
Oh, hear my song. You were flying too high for my little sky, and I'm moving on. Well, now, engine on, but I keep moving down that railroad line. Yeah, move on, here's my song. You had to laugh on me, I'm setting you free, and I'm moving on. Roy Clark and the swinging countrymen.
Engine number 9, coming down that railroad line. How much farther back did she get off? Old brown suitcase that she carried, I've looked for it everywhere, and it just ain't here among the rest. I'm a little upset, oh yes, tell me, engine number 9, coming down that railroad line. I know she got on in Baltimore. 110 miles ain't much distance, but it sure do make a difference, and I don't think she loves me anymore. And the Mark Allen singer.
Swinging country, swinging country, swinging people singing, swinging country songs.
All the old ones and the new ones, come and join a swinging country sing-along. Take a boy and a girl and a country song, and a moon up above, they'll be falling in love. Pretty soon the whole world will be singing along to a happy country song.
Station 51, KMG 365.
5110 KMG 365.
When I was a very young boy in the 70s, Emergency was my first favorite TV show. I only knew Julie London as Nurse Dixie McCall. Audiences of 1967 saw her in a different light.
Look down that lonesome road before you travel.
John has said she had a great naughty sense of humor.
Pack up all my cares and woes. Here I go, swinging low. Bye, bye, blackbird.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of rain, for purple mountain majesties, above the fruitlet plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Blackbird, bye-bye. Blackbird, bye-bye.
It seems like each member of the Love Generation has a different story regarding how the group secured its contract with Imperial Records.
Oh yeah, what conditions my condition was in.
John has said Kenny Rogers may have had something to do with it.
In a deep dark hole.
Tom recalls that a manager that Ann White knew talked Imperial into signing them.
I watched myself crawling out as I was crawling in.
My love is higher than a mission bell, deeper than a wishing well, stronger than a magic spell. My love for you, it's
According to Jim, his good friend, singer Donnie Brooks, hooked them up with producer Jerry Fuller.
sweeter than a honey tree. My love, oh.
I'm Jerry Fuller.
T. Clark gave me tapes of some of our better vocals, and I took them to Jerry Fuller, who at the time was running Challenge Records. Jerry did some demos with us to see if we might be a match for what he was doing with his label. The demo session for Challenge Records was the first get-together for everybody that ultimately made up the Love Generation. John Bahler, Tom Bahler, Marilyn Miller O'Brien, Ann White, Mitch Gordon, and Jim Wasson. That would have been in very early 1967. The session seemed to go great, even with the new members and voices. About a week later, Jerry contacted me to tell me that a producer at Liberty Records, Tommy Oliver, was looking for a group that could do material in a similar style as the Mamas and Papas. A group who could sight read and had some performance background. Jerry hooked us up with Tommy Oliver. It worked great.
Tommy and the band is going to play a song for you, all right?
I like the likes of you. I like the things you do. I mean, I like the likes of you. A pretty baby, I gave your eyes a blue. I think they're good on you. I mean, I like your eyes blue.
Oh, is it any wonder I feel that my whole life is through? Yeah, when I start feeling how strong my love is for you.
Jim says, at the meeting, we were all throwing out name suggestions. Everybody at the time was aware of what was going on in San Francisco with the hippies. I had heard a TV news commentator referring to the people collecting in San Francisco as a love generation. It was right before the term became widely used, but it stuck in my head. I suggested it to Tommy, and he seemed to like it. We all voted, and I guess we all liked it, so it became our name. The phrase, of course, exploded, and later it looked like we had no imagination.
Homer J., will you teach us to make love?
Wow, I could have lived like that.
Around May of 1967, the newly christened Love Generation convened at TTG Studios to begin recording their first album. TTG was located at 1441 North McCadden Place in Hollywood, close to the corner of Sunset Boulevard and Highland Avenue. Conveniently, it stood around the corner and a couple blocks down from one of their favorite hangout spots, the IHOP on Sunset, which in turn was only a couple blocks away from the Imperial offices on La Brea. 2 years later, a pair of my all-time favorite albums, the Association's self-titled album and Linda Ronstadt's solo debut, were also recorded there. To provide the instrumental backing for the album, Tommy Oliver hired the cream of the LA session musicians, including drummer Hal Blaine, bassist Joe Osborne, guitarist Mike Deasy, Al Casey, Jim and Ann's future employer Glenn Campbell, and keyboardists Larry Knechtel, Don Randy, and Michael Malvone. Recording continued into the next month. During the first week of June, the sessions came to a halt as TTG co-owner Ami Hadani, who was engineering the album, had to leave. Hadani was a general in the Israeli Air Force and thusly obliged to return home upon the outbreak of the Six-Day War. He wasn't gone very long. The group's first record, the single Groovy Summertime, was released in May of 1967.
It's a groovy day. You're a groovy girl. Throw your cares away. It's a groovy world. So come on. So come on.
Written by Tom Bahler and Dick Ross, it was originally titled Groovy Springtime. Tom's called Groovy Summertime a piece of fluff. I know what he means, but I still find a lot to like about it. For one thing, it features the first of many terrific Tommy Oliver vocal arrangements. Another thing I like about the song is the lyrics. I've been a fan of comic books since I was a kid. Someone once said on Reddit that Archie comics were like G-rated porn. For me, the lyrics to Groovy Summertime are like Archie comics.
It's groovy summertime and you're groovy too. Got a lot of good times I wanna spend with you. We'll have fun together, just walking hand in hand. Yeah, we'll have fun together, baby, and I wanna be your man.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire.
Do you know what I mean?
We are in a generation always reflecting the positive with the emphasis on giving. It's an important part of this world. This generation extends an open hand to everyone and really cares. They care and they have something to say. They care about feelings, they care about things, and they care about people. They are energetic and constantly exploring all forms of communication. This is the love generation. There is today an active awareness of things around us, an awareness of each other, and an awareness of nature, the sea, flowers, trees, birds, the rolling hills. This turn towards the simpler things allows people to communicate more freely. This is the love generation. The members of the love generation may have been hip to the new today values referred to in their liner notes, but on an individual basis, they had yet to embrace the sartorial revolution of the times. This just wouldn't do. So, in order to rectify the situation, Imperial Records sent the group and Tommy Oliver out to some hip Hollywood boutiques to buy some groovy threads. The guys headed out to Zeidler & Zeidler, located at the corner of Sunset and Crescent Heights, very, very close to Jim's Pad. Tom says he liked the outfit he picked out for himself. He didn't want it to be as loud as Jim's, but he still wanted to look cool. Out of all the group members, Jim has my favorite outfit. He stands 6'4". When Tom first saw him wearing that shirt, he shouted, "Little Flower!" Everybody laughed. That's how he got the Little Flower nickname. If you'd like to know how Mitch Gordon earned the nickname of the Count, it's because he used to do a terrible Dracula impression. I don't drink wine, I drink blood, etc. Apparently, the ladies bought their clothes at a boutique called The Flare. Honestly, I'm not really impressed with their choices, as they look less groovy than the guys. It seems like their idea of dressing groovy was to buy bright, solid colored shirts and to wear pants. I just think they could have done better. Now that the group had their new hip threads, it was time for a photo session. Imperial hired a talented photographer, Yvonne Naj, future adult film director and boyfriend of Heidi Fleiss. The group headed out to the then grassy, woodsy area of Woodland Hills, which no longer exists. Apparently, the photos taken that day were the only ones ever taken of the Love Generation. Looking at the first album cover, I used to wonder why they used this particular shot. See, only Marilyn is looking at the camera. Everyone else is just sort of like looking off in their own separate directions. Then it hit me. Someone in the Imperial Records art department was really with it. See, even though I knew that they weren't, they all look really high.
Walk with me along the fields of hope. You can soar above each rocky slope. Pass the wine of life along. Play the music, sing the song. Watch how I give out the love in me.
What I like best about the first Love Generation album is Tommy Oliver's aforementioned out-of-sight vocal arrangements. They really do blow my mind. And at this point, I'd like to express that what brings the sound of the Love Generation over the top for me is the ladies' voices, which I very much dig.
We'll find the universe above, inside our soul, inside our love. Watch how I give up the love in me.
Groovy Summertime leads off the first Love Generation album. Next comes a song which I dig even more, titled The Lovin' Me, written by Jim Wasson and Tom Bahler, with lyrics by Jim and music by John. Now, I want to say something about Jim Wasson as a lyricist. He co-wrote 4 songs for the Love Generation, and in my opinion, they ranged from very good to excellent. He had a real talent for writing far-out lyrics, despite never smoking pot or trying psychedelics. Dig these words.
Climb the heights and leave the world below. Hear the grass, it says what we should know. Strip the sunset from the day. Let it melt your fears away. Watch how I give out the love in me.
Next up is A Touch of Love, written by Tom Bahler and Dick Ross. It features an oboe solo by one of the Cats, Gene Cipriano. I think that Tom's lead vocal with John's harmony, Dick Ross's lyrics, and the harpsichord playing are all exquisite, and the girls' answering vocals are heavenly.
Walk with me and you will see that our lives were meant to be, and just a touch of love will make us free. Close your eyes and see the flowers there. Take a breath and smell how sweet the air.
Furthermore, the bridge's lyrical shout-out to hippies is the icing on the cake.
Free from all our troubles, free from all our cares, free from all the people who always stop and stare. We won't care what we.
A Touch of Love is possibly my favorite Love Generation song.
Winchester Cathedral, you're bringing me down. You stood and you watched as my baby left town.
I used to have a friend who would complain about the ubiquitous presence of what he referred to as old-timey songs on so many otherwise hip, groovy 60s albums. The next number is this album's old-timey song. You Took the Happiness was written by Russ Regan, a well-known music executive famous for giving the Beach Boys their name. It is an obscurity in the Love Generation catalog, having never appeared in any digital format, and Jim Wasson and Tom Bahler didn't remember it at all. I think it's strange that Tommy Oliver and the group would put a joke song as a fourth track on their debut LP, and it's kind of a bummer that this is Marilyn Miller's only lead vocal on the album. But the song itself is pretty decent, and I'm a big fan of her voice. Hey, Look Around starts off with another terrific burst of moving harmony. Tom Bahler composed the music to Hey, Look Around, and its lyrics were authored by Tom's friend, 1967's Helen Troy, the University of Southern California's homecoming queen, Noel Green. For me, it's another strong song with some clever wordplay.
So look around, he's the most expensive boy you found.
Seals of Seals and Crofts wrote the final song on side 1.
You talk of love and endless riddle. The truth is meant to fit your need. Your ears hear only necessary words and thoughts that make you breathe. From out of the depths of what you wander, searching for familiar sound of some unsuspecting sorrow on his way to not be found. Like a ravel gone unnoticed till the clock begins to tear. One small grain of salt in water at first is not so hard to bear. Out of an hour or day you're born to play your harp and wear your gown, hiding, waiting for the right one on his way to not be found. Not be found. Not be found.
Now, Tom's publisher was 4-Star Music, the publishing arm of Challenge Records. Via an introduction from Noel Green, Tom signed with 4-Star, supposedly independently of the group auditioning for Jerry Fuller, which is a historical can of worms I'd rather not open. Getting back to the song though, I'm not sure what the words are about, and it's possible I don't want to know. Other than that misgiving, I think it's another fine tune.
He touched me. He put his hand near mine, and then he touched me. I felt a sudden tingle when he touched me. A sparkle, a glow.
Combine this with this.
Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy.
And you have the first track on side 1, another fun slice of sunshine pop.
I simply got to face the fact she touched me. Control myself and try to act as if I remember my name. But she touched me, and suddenly nothing is the same.
Kudos to Tommy Oliver for this creative, groovy arrangement. Meet me at the Love-In. I have a lot to say about this one.
Little one, why do you hide among the shadows of your tiny mixed-up world? There's a place I know where the lonely go, and just let the music play upon their soul. Yeah.
In early 2008, I had a sunshine pop group of my own, which also included 4 guys and 2 gals. I was living in a bungalow in the Chicago neighborhood of Rogers Park. The group's drummer was also my friend and roommate. One day, we listened to an album I had recently purchased on eBay. That album was the Love Generation's first long player. When we were done listening to it, my friend looked at the album cover. He declared, "I don't think these people have been to 11 in their lives." Meet Me at the Lovin' was released as the group's second single around the same time as the first album. It failed to chart. That's a shame. I like it a little bit better than Groovy Summertime. The songwriting credit goes to Tom Bahler and Keith Colley. It features a trombone solo by Bill Watrous. On the surface, Meet Me at the Lovin' may sound like a song specifically written for an episode of a 60s sitcom where someone in the cast dips their toe in the counterculture and takes it right back out at the end. On the other hand, as they say,
oh, it's all in the mind, you know.
Little one, how long have you been crying? How long have you been all alone? So you watch the rain from your window pane with nothing or no one to call your own.
There She Goes Away is another tune that has yet to appear on a digital medium. That's unfortunate. The way that Tom's lovely melody wraps around Dick Ross's lyrics makes for a pretty nice ballad.
They look so true as they gaze into mine, but the joy that we knew when the flowers swept the field, and the joy for us too, I remember. There she goes.
Well, in the end, I think what she played sounds really good, especially if it's a touch of love.
I'm always asking why as she lingers in my mind.
The judges have just told me he won the round. However, she's got the biggest tits, so she wins. All right, folks. Tommy, this fucking show is rigged. You want $6? Show is rigged. Right there in the
When the Sun Goes Down, the penultimate song of the album, was written by Tommy Oliver.
When the gray of evening comes along with his promise to bring the night, I think back over all the love we shared while the day was warm and bright. Daytime trips with you I find are enough to turn me on, but you really make me blow my mind when the sun is gone. All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day.
You may recall earlier when I mentioned that Tommy Oliver was looking for a Mamas and Papas type group to work with when he signed the Love Generation to Imperial Records. When the Sun Goes Down shows a strong Mamas and Papas influence.
When the sun goes down, well, that's the time when I know for sure, girl, that you're mine. That's when you really shine, when the sun goes down.
Originally recorded by the Sundowners, it seems like a tailor-made vehicle for Oliver to show off his vocal arranging talents and the group to show off their harmony flair. Lyrically, it seems to indicate what he believed were the finer things in life.
When the sun goes down, well, that's the time. When the sun goes down, and on our mind goes. When the sun goes down, yeah, it's so fine. When the sun goes down. I've not been called to walk among the chosen few, those who know the glory of the joy of giving, and someone to give it to, for I have never given love.
The first Love Generation album closes with a downbeat yet hopeful song authored by Keith Colley and Nancy Mance titled Playing on the Strings of the Wind. Mitch Gordon is a featured lead vocalist here. There are more Mamas and Papas inspired background parts.
The road of life may bring a woman's company, and for a night she may abide.
With its poignant lyric and another fabulous arrangement, Playing on the Strings of the Wind is a worthy capper to a very far-out LP.
Oh, but tomorrow has not come, and with the rising of the sun, I will find the one I'm searching for, my friend. Yes, love is calling out to me, and I can hear its melody, just a playing on the strings of the wind. Yes, love is calling out to me, and I can.
With a new album and single freshly released, it was time for the Love Generation to go out and promote them. Somehow, they managed to score representation from the powerful William Morris Agency. At Mitch's house in the Valley, the group had been preparing. Alas, sadly, unfortunately, the Love Generation would never play it completely live in front of an audience. Jim tells the story of the closest they ever came. Though the Love Generation never played live, they did manage to appear on quite a few television shows.
California, it's groovy. An old show from the sunshine, surf and bikini country. Turn to bikini country. Turn on to the happening of the pop songs, scenes, and people of the day. And now here's your groovy host, Michael Blodgett.
Hello and welcome to the show that is happening on the beach in Southern California. The weather's beautiful and everybody's feeling.
Groovy was a local LA TV show broadcast from the beach in Santa Monica every weekday on KHJ Channel 9. The musical guests of the day would mime their current hit and then proceed to judge a bikini contest. Jim remembers the group miming with their instruments, but not the bikini contest.
Let's put all of the beautiful girls together in one line, and let's get the merry-go-round over here now. Come on, gentlemen. Boy, have you ever? You guys tell the truth. What's happening, man?
I have ever.
You have ever. Step around here so we can see you like this. Emmett, we got to rush, man. We're in a little bit of trouble with time.
Joe's going to pick it.
Go ahead, Joe. Bring her over here. Right now, man. Oh, my. Come on over here. What's your name again?
Susie Schoenberg.
Susie, I didn't even give you a chance to turn around, did I?
No.
Why don't I give you a chance to turn around right here? Come on, turn around. Let's have a hand for our winner, everybody.
You won't convict me. There's not going to be enough witnesses alive to testify. None of you. You hear what I'm saying? You're all going to be dead.
Yeah. The group also appeared on the Joey Bishop Show.
See? Pretty flowers? No flowers for you.
I think
kind of
so.
slick.
The bees look great.
The what?
The
the
bees.
bees. Yeah.
And on Pat Boone in Hollywood on November 20th, 1967. Additionally, it's very likely that the group appeared on a few more television programs. But the appearance I'm most interested in took place on the summer replacement show, the Steve Allen Comedy Hour, which occurred on August 16, 1967, when the group performed their new single, Meet Me at the Lovin'.
The Steve Allen Comedy Hour.
We know that it's still in existence. This photo is the only image currently circulating from it. To me, it looks like the girls' threads improved dramatically compared to what they wore at the photo session, psychedelically speaking, in terms of far outness. One of the items on my bucket list is to someday see this performance. I don't know how that'll happen, though.
My brother John was married with 2 kids. But, yeah, we would have done well as a group, I believe, because we had good material, good arrangers, and, good performers, and we were cute. And but John wouldn't travel, so we couldn't go on the road. We couldn't do a thing, and so we just decided. It wasn't a surprise. We all had something else to do, you know, and so there were two reasons. John didn't want to be away from his family, and also the thing was about being a studio singer is that when they call you and you're not available, that's okay. But if you're not available too often, then they just go to the next guy because there's so many great ones. You know what I mean?
You guys have a real boss sound.
Tom Slick, let me tell you why he's the best of all good guys.
When you find yourself in danger, when you're threatened by a stranger, when it looks like you will take a licking, there is someone waiting who will hurry up and rescue you. Just call for Super Chicken.
George of the jungle, strong as he can be. Watch out for that tree. George of the jungle lives a life that's free. Watch out for that tree. When he gets in the street, he makes his escape with the help of his friend, an 888. Then away he'll schlep on his elephant ship, while Fella and Ursula stay in step. Well, George of the jungle, friend to you and me. Watch out for that tree. Watch out for that tree. George of the jungle, friend to you and me.
Now for some cool music about Hormel wieners.
They're not hot dogs from Hormel. They're not hot dogs.
Hormel all meat wieners. The not hot dogs. They're not too spicy for kids. Just a pinch of spice in a pound of good red meat.
Hormel all meat wieners taste just right. Not too spicy for grown-ups. Not too spicy for kids. Yeah! They're not hot dogs from Hormel. They're not hot dogs. They're from Hormel.
If you go where the hippies are, they will let you be what you want to be.
It's different now than it was a few years ago. Different now than it was a few days ago. Different now than it was a few minutes ago. It's different now. It's changed somehow. It's different now, and I'm changing too.
Because Karl Marx is f***ed up too.
Say it's different now than it was a few days ago. It's different now.
There have been too many years when people have been taught that sex was a shrine that you kneel in front of. And that's bullshit. Sex is a groovy, beautiful, natural way for two people to communicate. It's a mutual thing like a handshake. Sex is a communication, and I don't feel you have to know someone for a year to know that you have something to say to them, and that sex is the way to say it.
Oh, well, when I lived at home, I mean, like, I didn't ball anybody. I didn't until, well, I guess when I started late. I mean, compared to nowadays, let me put it that way, kids start bawling at an early age. I mean, the people I know, they start bawling at an early age. And I didn't start bawling until I was, 17 and a half, I guess. I don't know, but it's comparatively late with the children nowadays.
acid rock sound of Something Happening score is pretty far removed from the sunshine pop style of the Love Generation. In my opinion, this displays the versatility and talent of the Bahler brothers, both musically and lyrically.
A carousel, dreams thrown down a wishing well. You're looking fine, you're holding only air. Today may burst, you want to understand it first. And then you turn around and it's not even there. Oh, it's different now than it was a few years ago. I'd say it's different now than it was a few days ago. Oh, it's different now than it was a few minutes ago. It's different now. It's changed somehow. It's different now and I'm changing too.
In 1965, Pernell Roberts left the cast of Bonanza to return to musical theater. 2 years later, he and Martha Mell were chosen to star in a much hyped and ultimately ill-fated anti-war musical called Mata Hari. Based on the story of the alleged World War I spy, Mata Hari was scheduled to begin a Broadway run in January of 1968. Very much to their credit, the Love Generation and Imperial Records selected a song from its score for the group's third single, which was released in December of 1967. Interestingly, Jim Wasson was selected to sing his first Love Generation lead vocal.
I am safe, Mama. I am fine. We are deep, Mama, at the line. There are sounds, Mama, of the war. Rifles crack, Mama, cannons roar. I have fear, Mama, I'm afraid, not of bombs, Mama, nor grenades. There's a voice, Mama, I can't still, and it says, Mama, can you kill? It's cold and it's black.
Sure, Maman is a little melodramatic, but try to place yourself in those times.
Can I kill Mama? Yes, I can.
The Love Generation's second album, titled A Generation of Love, was released in January of 1968. Compared to the first LP, its vocal arrangements are considerably less elaborate, either by creative design or perhaps even apathy, which I consider a bummer. On the other hand, it includes some very worthwhile original material. Furthermore, I dig that on this record, there was a conscious effort to feature each member on lead vocals on at least one number. For example, Jim Wasson, after being shut out of the lead vocal department on the debut disc, sings 3 solos on the sophomore effort. Tom Bahler was in charge of selecting the lead vocalists. I would think that many current Love Generation fans are aware of this interesting fact. For some years now, the great majority of the vinyl LPs of A Generation of Love available for sale are original, sealed copies. There must have been a warehouse fine or something of that nature. On the back cover of The Generation of Love, there is a far-out poem written by Jim Wasson about the members of the Love Generation. Rolling grassy fields. willows that weep with the joy of youth. Once dark nights, now bursting with the sunshine of a warm afternoon. Reflections, reflections of tomorrow, a generation of love. A golden thread drawn taut with expectation, the question and the answer. A German shepherd puppy, Marilyn. Marilyn is love. Inside the seed, living to get out. Restricted, abandoned. Stories filled with truth and nonsense. Tom. Tom is love. Beginning to become the end. Steel skyscrapers and sheep's clothing. Ripples on a placid lake. John. John is love. Laughter when it's needed most. Fireflies and snapdragons. A green new spring. Annie. Annie is love. Medicine man with a cough. A happy accident that's planned. A big little flower. Jimmy. Jimmy is love. The first stroke of midnight. Never on time and never late. A count in a barren wasteland. Mitch. Mitch is love. Rolling grassy fields. Willows that weep with the joy of youth. Once dark nights, now bursting with sunshine of a warm afternoon. Reflections. Reflections of tomorrow. A generation of love. We are the love generation. Leading off A Generation of Love is a song written by Jerry Goffin and Carole King, and a number 10 hit for Freddie Scott in 1963.
Inside of me's going to die if you say so long. If this is goodbye, hey girl, hey girl.
I have to admit, I didn't think very highly of Hey Girl's very adult, contemporary influenced arrangement when I first started listening to it, but I've grown to like it more as my appreciation for 60s adult contemporary has grown. Moreover, there's a section of the Going Thing special which makes me appreciate Hey Girl even further. In it, Mitch Gordon displays his Tony Bennett-style crooning ability.
By the time I get to Phoenix, you'll be rising. You'll find a note I left hanging on your door. You'll laugh when you read the part that says I'm leaving. 'Cause I left you, girl, so many times before. I decided I was old enough to go out on my own and learn to live. I packed up all the things I owned and started saving dimes and quarters in a mason jar behind the books.
Apparently, Jim Wasson finished writing the words to Consciousness Expansion on his father's birthday of July 9th, 1967, before handing them over to Tom Bahler to add music. It's another shining example of Jim's talent for penning psychedelic lyrics.
I took a flat on Tennessee where I could grow and learn to move. I sat myself down on my knee and opened up my mind. It wasn't long ago that I decided I would try to find that thing inside of me that makes me tick. While I was hiking through my head, I thought that I was dreaming and that I had left reality behind. Think of my surprise when I saw Dad and Mom and all my friends and trees and grass and buildings down the street. And you'll be glad to know my story started out okay, and it will end okay. I found it, watch me grow. I'm getting bigger now, the galaxy is lost in me. Watch me grow, I'm getting bigger now.
Dig Tom Bahler's Out of Sight arrangement.
When I think of all the times that I have been alone with you, I remember all the magic moments I have known with you. When I think of all the times that you have held my hand, the little things you said that made me understand what you mean to me and why it has to be you.
You was a song brought to the group's attention by Tommy Oliver. Its association-esque arrangement makes full use of the complete range of the Love Generation's vocal spread, from Mitch Gordon's bass singing to the ladies' wonderful highs, a rarity on this album. As such, it's my favorite amongst the outside material on A Generation of Love.
With you.
But you're wonderful, you, lovely you. You completely satisfy. I'm confessing that is why there's nobody like you.
Everybody shout! Come on now, sing out! It's time for the ghoulies get together.
Make me wanna lift you up and give you a whirl. Candy, candy, I hope that you can see that all I really ever want is you for my girl.
Hey, hey, hey! It's Bud Albert, and I'm gonna sing a song for you.
1967, Tom Bahler's favorite musical composition was Brahms' Requiem. Begun as a poem, Leaves Grow Gray was the only collaboration between Jim Wasson and Tom Bahler. I think it's a mighty fine one.
The nights, bleak nights that shroud day.
And then I loved for him to sing it, and he sang it beautifully.
Once I held the glow of you. My heart was filled with dancing streams of starlight. Was the seed too soon to bloom? Was the seed too soon to bloom? Once I held the warmth of you. The gentle summer breeze blew all too quickly into icy eyes of gloom. Into icy eyes of gloom.
And I will always love that piece.
Of dying smiles. When I'm feeling blue, all I have to do is take a look at you. Then I'm not so blue. When you're close to me, I can feel your heartbeat. I can hear you breathing in my ear. Wouldn't you agree, baby, you and me got a groovy kind of love. We got a groovy kind of love.
A Groovy Kind of Love is the second of 4 covers of top 10 hits on A Generation of Love, and this one is my favorite by far. I dig John's double-tracked lead vocal, as well as the gal's always satisfying backgrounds. I just wish the harmony arrangement wasn't so bare bones.
Inside, wouldn't you agree, baby, you and me got a groovy kind of love. We got a groovy kind of love.
My name is Miriam, and I'm 16. Well, see, I've been up on acid 40 times, and I've smoked pot, and I've smoked DMT sprayed pot, and I've smoked hash, and, well, and I've taken pills, you know, and I've been through the whole thing. You know, like this hippie thing, that's another thing of this love trip with these hippies. It's like they've taken acid, they experienced God, you know, if they take the right acid. This is what acid is supposed to accomplish. But when you start putting in belladonna and methadone and cocaine and all kinds of other garbage in with it, you really can't expect to get what you're supposed to on acid because it just stops you. If you really get the right kind of acid and get to where it's at, it's marvelous, of course. You're where God is at. When you get there, you think everything's really supposed to be like a big garden, and all anybody would ever do if they were doing the right thing would be to sit under a tree and would never wear clothes because that's just a hang-up. And, you know, everyone would just meditate every day. And, like, it's the type of thing where you say, where the hippies say, well, you know, everything is really groovy. You know, it really is groovy. But, man, like, take a look around.
opinion, boy, did he ever nail it. I feel that all of the Wasson-Bahler collaborations are very strong, but the last track on side 1, co-written by John Bahler, is without a doubt my favorite. It is in my Love Generation top 3.
Yesterday I heard of places I had never seen, secret places not so far away. Yesterday I left to find these places seldom seen, but I got lost somewhere along the way. Got me home.
John Bahler, who chose Mitch Gordon to sing lead on the Bummer, has called his good friend a monster talent. That talent is heard here as he adopts a Hepcat style much different from his nightclub crooning. His vocal, John's music and arrangement, and Jim's trippy lyrics make this number a real mind-blower.
Yesterday I heard of hidden wonders in the night, secret wonders, colorful and new. Yesterday I tried to be the dove and take its flight, but now I'm lost, I can't get back to you. Guide me home, I wanna see your eyes and hold your hand. The sky I see is cold and black. Say something gentle, try to bring it back. Yesterday I heard that there were worlds worth dreaming of, secret worlds buried deep inside. Yesterday I left to find that paradise above, but now I'm lost, I need you for my guide.
You may blow your mind completely, but won't you take the chance?
Will you, won't you, won't you join the dance?
I say, next time, bring a friend. Side 2 of A Generation of Love begins with the group's cover of Working My Way Back to You. I find it to be pretty ordinary. John's lead singing is decent, but once again, I consider the vocal arrangement to be a bit undercooked. I'd like to take a moment to express how much I dig Dick Gross's lyrical contributions in collaboration with his UFC Kappa Sigma fraternity brother and good friend Tom Bahler to the Love Generation's oeuvre. I like those 4 songs almost as much as Jim Wasson's. The next track is his last, and it's another good one.
All the colored shadows that lie within your eyes fall in place before you when you realize life is more than taking, more than dreams declare. Now's the time for waking, there's so much to share. So open up your mind and you'll find that a
I really like how Tom's voice sounds, and he admits that his string arrangement has a strong Eleanor Rigby influence.
Now the world in shadows struggles through the night, and you see before you in a dawning light.
Maman was next in the running order, followed by the last of the top 10 covers.
Stop in the name of love before you break my heart.
What you just heard is my favorite part of the song, the girl's refrain. I think Tom's lead is pretty good, but once again, I feel that the vocal arrangement is lacking. For example, listen to what happens when the refrain comes around again.
But this time before you run to him, leaving me alone and hurt. After I've been good to you, after I've been sweet to you.
It's just an octave, with the guy singing the lower part. Overall, Stop in the Name of Love doesn't rank very highly on my list of Love Generation favorites. With the exception of You, none of the songs on A Generation of Love from Outside Writers has appeared in digital media. I wonder if the Love Generation master tapes still exist, as Imperial Records' catalog eventually ended up under Universal's umbrella.
Tickled by children, a shimmer when you laugh, each child.
The last two numbers on A Generation of Love are among my most beloved Love Generation songs, with the final track being a strong candidate for my favorite Love Generation song. They both feature solo vocals from the distaff members of the group. Additionally, their lyrics were provided by one Christine Copeland, the daughter of arranger Alan Copeland and a high school upperclassman in 1967. Alan, a vocal arranger who had worked with some of the greatest names in music history, had become a fan of the Bahler brothers. He asked Tom if he would meet with his budding lyricist offspring. The precocious teenager formed a creative and productive partnership with Tom, characterized by a whole lot of grooviness. That opening melody you just heard was a combination of a flute and Ann White, stretching her voice to the uppermost limits of her range, as brilliantly arranged by Tom Bahler.
Once far away, I saw you there, born by a stream. You touched the air.
I buried myself beneath a rock, a fluffy olive green, and wondered when the rain would stop. I was a boy with too many unmatched colors, were all I could see through a crack in the floor. Umbrellas closing, not enough leaf rainbows, and beauty parlors closed.
The psychedelic fairyland created by Christine Copeland's stream of consciousness lyrics indicates to me that, despite her age, she really seemed to be with it and knew where it was at.
I can hear the bounce of the ball and eager hands sweeping up little pointed silver things. When it rains, fairy tales seem more real at bedtime, and I know scary movie. The old green rug is muddy, 'cause everyone steps on it from the outside. I'd better move. I'd better move. I'd better move. I'd better move.
Anne's beautiful delivery really brings the song to life. It sure is unfortunate that this was her only Love Generation lead vocal.
How are you? Hello? How are you? Hello? What you doing? Are you alright there? What's the trouble down there? Hello? Hello, boy. How are you doing?
The final song on A Generation of Love begins with Marilyn Miller's sultry voice and the sound of an RMI keyboard, either the Roxy chord or the electro piano. It was used liberally throughout the recording of this album, as well as the Something's Happening soundtrack.
Awoke in midnight, I opened the door and walked out to the moon. It smiled, rolled across the hills and glens, and I followed its path. I would come to it soon. It lay before me, bathed in glow from the breath of the sky, and I ran through the fields. The grass is as fine as the head of a child, and the dawn glistened with newborn dew.
The tall of the tree bent down to me, and raised me above to the blue.
W.C. Fields hold the magic that brightens your soul to dance. The clover you run,
It happies the flowers and gives you the chance to laugh and be part of the sun.
the W.C. Fields are waiting with the nature of love they can sing, waiting to bask you in jewels as a king. To be part of them, earth clothed in crimson sheets and colorless laughs that fade with a tear. It is waiting for me with this snowflake of blue, a place that I go where my life and its love are near.
In my W.C. Fields, 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 in my
I consider W.C. Fields a sunshine pop masterpiece. If I was alive in 1968 and had just listened to A Generation of Love, I would be very eager to hear their next album.
weekend I'd love to get the chance to play and sing it. I think it's about the happiest sound going down today. The message may not move me or mean a great deal to me, but hey, it feels so groovy to say. I dig the mamas and the papas at the trips of this trip in LA. They got good things going when the words don't get in the way. And when they're really wailing, Michelle and Cass are sailing. Hey, they really nail me to the wall.
Unfortunately, neither of them remember why the entire Love Generation wasn't hired, or why John and Ann were absent.
And when the people tell you they've got no words left to tell you, they mean exactly what they say. But if they really say it, the radio won't play it unless they lay it between the
My sister's family lived in the Lake Tahoe area for around 25 years. So, it's an interesting coincidence that the story of how the Love Generation as a six-member group ended begins there. Sunday, July 16, 1968. Jim Wasson finishes a 3-week gig as one of Henry Mancini's singers during his residency at the Sahara Tahoe Hotel and Casino in State Line, Nevada.
Yesterday. I shivered from the cold of the ice in my granite heart, knowing that you didn't have a prayer. And then I rang the bell and you were there, and darling, then your face was full of me.
Though Tommy Oliver has been identified as the instigator of the decision to reduce the Love Generation from a sextet to a duo, both John and Tom have said they were longing and striving for a sort of world-class level artistic perfection which this group of singers, in their estimation, could not attain. So, what can I say about Montage? I've encountered Love Generation enthusiasts and aficionados who believe it's their best album. There's no doubt it contains some top-notch material, but, as I mentioned earlier, the sound of the 6 vocalists, especially the ladies, is what makes me such a big Love Generation fan. The 2 voices sing all of the parts just doesn't resonate with me as much. What I wouldn't give to visit a parallel universe where Marilyn Miller and Anna White recorded the high parts to let the good times in, using the same arrangement as a Partridge Family.
You better let the good times in, let love shine through. You'll see how happy we can be together. Chocolate highways, ice cream trees.
What about Magicland? Tom said that he and Tommy Oliver wrote it with the express purpose of creating a Spanky and Our Gang type song. Spanky and Our Gang is my all-time favorite group, and they had 6 members who all sang at that point in time. I would have loved to hear Magicland with 6 different singers. And then we have Sunrise Highway, which was actually recorded by the original group with the 4 other members' voices mixed low. I dream of a remix with all the vocals restored to their full glory.
To believe in what I sunrise highway on a sunny July day, 2 stars sipping lemonade, right here on Sunrise Highway on a strawberry sky, baby everything's going my way. I get so hypnotized by the feeling is right.
In any case, yeah, 6 voices is my bag, and that's where it is for me. Leaving the voices aside, Montage has a weakness when it comes to its filler material. You is simply the Generation of Love version, again with the 4 other members' vocals mixed lower. Consciousness Expansion sees John and Tom recording a new lead vocal over the original track, a decision which Jim did not exactly think was very cool.
It wasn't long ago that I decided I was old enough to go out on my own and learn to live. I packed up all the things I owned and started saving dimes and quarters in a mason jar behind the books.
A Touch of Love also features a new dual lead, as well as some JFK quotes recorded by Tommy Oliver, whose delivery of which Tom describes as Mickey Milquetoast.
If we cannot end now our differences, at least we can help make the world safe for diversity. For in the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this small planet. We all breathe the same air. We all cherish our children's future, and we all are mortal.
Walk with me along this sunny lane. free, and just a touch of love will make us free. Close your eyes and see the flower.
And so, the Love Generation was no more. By 1969, the group members had settled in to the next phases of their lives. Marilyn, who was turned down by the Ford people because she looked too sexy, had decided to start a family. Anne was actually offered a job in the Ford group, but she turned it down for reasons she would not reveal. Instead, she and Jim were hired by Glenn Campbell to be singers on his new TV show, The Glenn Campbell Good Time Hour. And John, Tom, and Mitch went on to form the core of the Ford group called The Going Thing, in which they would earn lucrative salaries and a lot of industry experience.
Swinging group like Bright Young America is introduced to Ford's new 1969 Torino. Sometimes you have to listen twice.
Hey, the Torino has a new 428 mil. I hear the power anchors are caliper discs.
They're saying Torino 69 has a new 428 cubic inch engine and that you can get power front wheel disc brakes.
Looks like a groovy California rake job. Adjustable shocks. And wide oval. Ford gives you better ideas. Ford gives you better ideas.
Come on now and meet everybody and hear us singing. There's nothing better than being together when we're singing. Through early morning fog I see visions of the things to be, the pains that are withheld for me. I realize and I can see that suicide is painless. It brings on many changes, and I can take or leave it if I please. Love, 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 love American style, truer than the red, white, and blue. Love American style, that's me and you. And on a star-spangled night, my love, come to me. You can rest your head on my shoulder. When it's time to change, you've got to rearrange who you are and what you're gonna be.
once again, Bubby Gentry.
What'll I do when you are far away and I feel blue? What'll I do? She's out of my life. She's out of my life, and I don't know whether to laugh or cry. I don't know whether to live or die, and it cuts like a knife. She's out of my
We're already in Bigfoot territory, where all those people were killed.
I've yet to encounter anyone who says they were a fan of the Love Generation back in the day. It seems like every current fan of the group became one in the 21st century. Back in 2008, very soon after I had discovered the group, I exchanged quite a few emails with Jim Wasson, who very kindly answered every question I could think of regarding the Love Generation. 11 years later, after connecting with Tom Bahler on social media, in July of 2019, I decided I wanted to tell the story of the Love Generation. The member I was most interested in reaching next was definitely Ann White. Facebook, over and over again, would suggest her as my top person you may know to become Facebook friends with. As you can see, her profile pic was her Love Generation press kit photo. But I was too chicken to click that button. I figured that, since Jim told me he could put me in touch with her, and I had an upcoming interview with Tom, I could wait. The day after Christmas, 2019. Whilst visiting family in California, my nephew told me we could attend an NBA game between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Sacramento Kings. I decided that I would wear my prized custom Love Generation t-shirt. After buying some popcorn, I had to use the Golden One Center's self-serve butter dispensers, which in my opinion were not very user-friendly. I ended up with a lot of butter dripping on my shirt, creating a noticeable stain. I was quite upset by this, and at the same time could not help but feel that this was some kind of bad omen. Back in Chicago, on Saturday, January 25th, 2020, my first interview with Tom Bahler went very well. It was time for me to turn my attention to Ann White.
And then I will also give you the mobile number I have on her.
Okay.
And if she gets mad, just tell her that I was just trying to help. I don't think she will, though. She's such a sweet person. She may say, how the hell did you get my number? You know, then just tell him, and he thought you'd be okay with this. So, you know, hang it on me, okay?
Well, I didn't have the courage to call her, but I could not wait to get in touch with her via email so I could ask her all my questions. Everything from what instruments did she and Marilyn play when the Love Generation was rehearsing to be a band, to everything else under the sun. On the evening of Tuesday, February 4th, I sent her an email using 2 different addresses, one each as provided by Tom and Jim, who was especially close to Anne. I went to sleep that night, eagerly awaiting her response. As I implied earlier, the Association is one of my all-time favorite groups. I follow a Facebook page dedicated to the late Larry Ramos, run by his daughter. Before they joined the Association and the Love Generation respectively, Larry and Anne were bandmates in the New Christy Minstrels. On the morning of Thursday, February 6th, I got up, opened my laptop, and logged into Facebook to be greeted by a post from the Larry Ramos page, to my utter shock and disbelief. Reeling from the absolute gut punch, I had to carry out the miserable and disheartening task of informing her ex-bandmates that Anne had died. Later that day, I had a Facebook chat with Jim and Tom. When Tom called Jim Little Flower, I would have been geeking out, had the moment not been so unbearably sad. And later that evening, I received an email from Anne's address. I was told that she died on January 15th, and her diagnosis had only taken place a few weeks before, possibly around Christmas time. It went on to say that it was a shame that I couldn't have spoken to her sooner, as she would have loved to have spoken of her time with the Love Generation and her life in music. Man, oh man. The shock and disbelief eventually gave way to feelings of sadness and regret. In fact, not trying to get in touch sooner with Anne White is one of the biggest regrets of my life. In the aftermath, I considered abandoning this project. Though I rejected that idea, I no longer had the will to aggressively pursue interviews with Tom Bahler and Mitch Gordon. So, that's what you see here. It goes without saying that having Anne's memories would have made it so much better.
Oh, Anne, as sweet as she was, as good a singer as she was, she and I were good friends. There were only certain things she would talk about. I didn't know anything about her personal life. I didn't know if she was married, had a boyfriend, you know. I adored her. And, I mean, I would have dated her, but she let all of us know at the very beginning she wasn't available. And she didn't mix business with pleasure. So, very clear. You know, it's okay when somebody's clear. She was kind, loving. She fixed me up with so many girls. Oh, my God, you got to take this girl out. You know, she was like a sister.
Show me the whiskey stains on the floor. Show the drunkard as he stumbles out the door.